If you are always the one saying yes, staying quiet, swallowing your feelings, and putting everyone else first, this message is for you because being too nice is not kindness. It is self-betrayal. And if you do not stop today, people will keep using you, draining you, and walking away without guilt. Let me say this clearly. The world does not reward people who abandon themselves. The world rewards people who respect themselves. Imagine this. You help everyone. You answer every call. You fix problems that are not yours. You stay polite even when disrespected. You forgive without change, and yet when you need support, no one is there. You feel invisible, unappreciated, and exhausted. That pain is not weakness. That pain is a warning. Being too nice often starts as survival. Maybe you learned early that love comes from pleasing others. Maybe conflict felt dangerous. Maybe you were taught that saying no makes you selfish. So you became agreeable, adaptable, easy to use. And at first it felt safe. People liked you, needed you, praised you. But slowly something changed. The more you gave, the more they took. The more you stayed silent, the more they crossed lines. And one day you realized something painful. The people around you did not respect you. They expected you. Here is the hard truth. People do not use you because they are evil. They use you because you allow it. And allowing it teaches them exactly how far they can go. When you never say no, your yes becomes worthless. When you never set boundaries, people stop seeing you as a person and start seeing you as a resource, a tool, a convenience. Think about this. If you lend money every time someone asks, they stop appreciating it. If you always stay late at work, they stop respecting your time. If you always forgive without accountability, they stop respecting your heart. Niceness without boundaries is an open invitation for exploitation. And the most dangerous part, you start blaming yourself. You think, maybe if I give more, they will care. Maybe if I stay patient, they will change. Maybe if I remain kind, they will finally see my value. But that day rarely comes because people do not change when you sacrifice yourself. They change when access to you has limits. There is a difference between kindness and people-pleasing. Kindness comes from strength. People-pleasing comes from fear. Kindness chooses, people-pleasing begs. Kindness has standards. People-pleasing has none. Ask yourself this. Are you being nice because you want to or because you are afraid of being disliked, abandoned, or alone? The moment you choose peace over truth, you start losing yourself, and slowly resentment builds. You smile on the outside, but inside you are tired, angry, confused about why life feels unfair. But life is not punishing you. It is reflecting the boundaries you refuse to set. Being too nice teaches people that your needs are optional. Your time is flexible. Your feelings are negotiable. And once that lesson is learned, it is very hard to unteach. This is why stopping this today matters, not tomorrow, not after one more sacrifice today. Because every time you choose silence over self-respect, you reinforce the belief that you do not matter as much as others, and once you believe that others will too, the shift begins when you realize something powerful. You are not responsible for how others feel about your boundaries. You are responsible for how you treat yourself. Saying no does not make you cruel. Speaking up does not make you rude. Choosing yourself does not make you selfish. It makes you healthy. Some people will not like the new you, and that is proof you are being used, not loved. When you stop over-explaining, stop apologizing for existing, stop giving more than you can afford emotionally, mentally, or physically, you will feel uncomfortable at. First, guilt will show up. Fear will whisper that you are becoming a bad person. You are not becoming bad. You are becoming free, and freedom always feels unfamiliar to those who lived in self-abandonment for too long. The guilt you feel when you start setting boundaries is not a sign that you are wrong. It is a sign that you are breaking an old pattern. A pattern where your value came from how much you gave, not who you are. People who benefited from your silence will resist your voice. People who benefited from your exhaustion will question your rest. And people who benefited from your lack of boundaries will suddenly accuse you of changing. Yes, you are changing, you are evolving. And growth always feels threatening to those who were comfortable with the old version of you. Understand this. Clearly, healthy people respect boundaries. Manipulative people test them, and users get angry when access is limited. That reaction tells you everything you need to know. You do not need to announce your transformation. You do not need to justify your decisions. Let your actions speak. Let your no be calm, firm, and final. When someone asks you for something, pause before answering. That pause is power. It gives you space to ask yourself, do I actually want to do this, or am I afraid of the consequences if I do not? Every time you choose honesty over approval, you reclaim a piece of yourself. Every time you protect your time, energy, and emotions, you teach the world how to treat you. And yes, some people will leave. Let them. People who only stay because you overgive were never truly with you. They were attached to your usefulness, not your presence. This is painful but necessary, because holding on to the wrong people blocks the right ones from entering your life. When you stop being too nice, you stop attracting takers, and you start attracting equals people who give back. Listen, respect, and see you as a human being, not a solution to their problems. Your relationships will become fewer, but deeper, quieter, but safer. You will no longer feel drained after conversations. You will no longer replay moments in your head wishing you had spoken up, because you did speak up. Being respected feels better than being liked. Being at peace feels better than being needed. And being honest feels better than being convenient. Let go of the belief that you must earn love through sacrifice. Love that requires you to disappear is not love, it is control. You are allowed to have limits. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to say no without explaining. And you are allowed to walk away from anything that costs you your self-respect. Here is something powerful to remember. The moment you stop chasing approval is the moment you start commanding respect. Not through aggression, not through anger, but through quiet confidence and consistency. Consistency is key. One boundary once will be tested. A boundary twice will be challenged. A boundary consistently enforced becomes a rule. People learn fast when you stop negotiating your worth. And when doubt creeps in, remember this: you are not responsible for managing other people's emotions. You are responsible for managing your life. Stop apologizing for taking space. Stop shrinking to keep others comfortable. Stop setting yourself on fire to keep people warm. You were never meant to be consumed. You were meant to be respected. This change does not happen overnight. It happens choice by choice, moment by moment, a deep breath before you answer a calm no, instead of a resentful yes, a walk away instead of self-betrayal. And one day you look back and realize you are no longer tired of being kind, because now your kindness has boundaries, and boundaries protect your peace. The strongest version of you is not loud, not aggressive, and not cold. It is calm, clear, and unmovable. It does not argue for respect. It expects it. When you stop being too nice, you stop explaining yourself to people who never tried to understand you. You stop overgiving to people who never reciprocated, and you stop chasing connection at the cost of your dignity. This is where confidence is born, not from ego, but from self-trust. Self-trust that says, I will not abandon myself again. At first, it may feel lonely. You might miss the attention, the messages, the feeling of being needed. But what you were feeling was not connection. It was dependence. And dependence always drains the soul. Real connection feels safe, not exhausting. It feels mutual, not one-sided. It feels calm, not anxious. When you begin choosing yourself, something strange happens. The chaos leaves. Your mind becomes quieter. Your body relaxes, and for the first time in a long time, you feel grounded, because your nervous system is no longer in survival mode trying to keep everyone happy. This is what healing looks like. It looks like silence instead of over-explaining, distance instead of resentment, and self-respect instead of approval-seeking. You start noticing patterns sooner. You sense when someone is crossing a line, and instead of freezing, you respond, you speak, you step back, or you leave. And you do it without guilt, because guilt no longer controls you. Self-awareness does. You realize that saying no to others is often saying yes to your health, your future, and your peace. You realize that protecting your energy is not selfish. It is necessary. The people who truly care about you will adjust. They will listen. They will respect your limits. And they will grow with you. Those who do not were never meant to stay. You were not born to be endlessly available. You were born to live fully, honestly, and freely. You were born to be kind, but not invisible, generous, but not drained, loving, but not self-sacrificing. So stop being too nice. Stop negotiating your worth. Stop shrinking your needs to fit into spaces that never valued you. Choose yourself today, not with anger, not with bitterness, but with clarity and courage. Because the moment you respect yourself, the world has no choice but to follow. If this message felt uncomfortable, that is because it touched something real inside you, a truth you have been avoiding for too long. You are tired, not because you are weak, but because you have been carrying too much for too many people. Today, let this be the moment it ends, not the moment you become cold, but the moment you become conscious of your limits, your worth, and your right to be respected. You do not need to prove your goodness through suffering. You do not need to earn love by losing yourself, and you do not need permission to choose peace over people-pleasing. Being kind is beautiful, but being kind to yourself is non-negotiable. From this moment forward, let your yes mean something. Let your no protect you. Let your silence be intentional, and let your presence be earned. Some doors will close. Let them. Some relationships will fade. Let them. What remains will be real, balanced, and honest. And one day you will look back at the version of yourself who was too nice, and you will feel compassion, not regret, because that version did their best with what they knew. But now you know better. So stand firm, speak clearly, walk away when needed, and remember this. The strongest people are not those who give endlessly. The strongest people are those who know when to stop. Stop being too nice. Start being real.